Good morning. Good morning. We got good morning. We got Powell's testimony coming in right now, so I'm just going to stream it up.
Further upward pressure on inflation. On Omicron, he says the slowdown seems to have been brief, and the labor market is extremely tight, and they're seeing improvement across all kinds of different industries. So, Joe, I think at the end of the day, this is pretty much what is expected here. The Fed is on track for at least a couple rate hikes at the beginning, and then it's a kind of wait and see on Ukraine and the Russian invasion and the impact on the U.S. economy.
8:30. It's not the end of the day, Steve. Right at the beginning.
Okay. All right. So the testimony was released early.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I should know better than to use language sloppily with you.
Hey, Steve,
Exactly right.
we knew that he was going to try and thread the needle.
So they're going to raise rates. All right. So markets are.
Is going to moderate through the course of the year. Maybe you call that a transitory light commentary, but then say that they're continuing to watch for any signs that it's picking up. What does that mean? They're watching the labor market tightly, that they're
Hold on.
average hourly earnings, that they're ready to move on this. Like, the market has kind of assumed that 50 basis points is off the table, and maybe the Fed is going to step a little more lightly. Would you read into that based on what you just heard?
The way I read into that is there's going to be some really lousy numbers to come. And I think that's kind of a signal to the
inflation
market
front.
that, yeah, we know that probably on the inflation front, yeah, the numbers coming, what would it be, March 10th, that would be in about 8 days from now, are going to be pretty lousy, and maybe another one after that before they see any subsiding in inflation.
All right.
And now you layer in this Ukraine invasion and $111 oil, and I guess it was wheat futures were running over $10 a bushel. At least that was last night when last I looked. And he doesn't have any help coming that he might have gotten from some of these other factors coming down. So I think the Q&A here, Becky, is going to be really important about how they're thinking about this, because in all of these things, you guys were talking about this earlier, high oil prices are also a tax, so there could be some decline in demand related to these high prices that end up helping at least somewhat on the inflation front.
All right. All right. I'm going to pause this. Let's see what this happened. So the markets, all right, you got it. Welcome to the Morning Brew. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? What's up? All right. I know a lot of you are waking up. All right. It is now. Basically, futures are reacting a little bit. We're pulling back. Noticing right here. So, wow. All right. So I think the market's going to dissect this in a little bit. We got Munchin, former secretary, coming out. Okay, so let's see what this goes. Let me just get rid of this. I don't want to watch this anymore. All right, so a couple of things we got to talk about. We have a lot of things weighing on the market. All right, now the beautiful thing about this is that we have to kind of prep your trade. This is why it's important to kind of tune in, think strategy, as well as price movement, and understand what's going down. So oil right now is sitting, and let me just put this up here for you guys. Oil right now is sitting at $112 a barrel. Okay, that's pretty significantly. That's pretty high. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that, but it's really difficult. It's going to put a strain on consumers. That's going to put a major strain on consumers and inflation. So now the beautiful thing about this is that if the war or the conflict ceases or gets erased, then basically oil will drop, right? And that's one of the biggest components, and then that will put less strain on inflation. So I guess in Powell's testimony right now, he just stated that they're going to wait and see, but they're going to raise rates. So I think the market was hoping that they were not going to raise rates and kick the can down the road. That's not the case. 50 basis point is still on the table, according to his testimonial, and maybe more, right? So we don't know. And I think that's the unknown with the markets, and that's why the markets are having a reaction. Remember, the market doesn't like unknowns, and we're seeing right now the futures market is at 43.20. We were at, we were pretty up there. So again, let's dive in and let's see what's going down in here. So ultimately, we also have next week. That the market is going to, if I put in, and I have a lot to cover here with you guys. If we put the economic calendar. next week is going to be a big week, as well as this week, right? Because next week, remember, March 16th is the big day. That's the day that the Fed is going to come out. That's the next meeting. So that's when everything's going to hit the fan. So get ready, but again, this whole month, March is going to be a pretty critical month. It always is, always is. But next week we have, jobless claims, consumer price index, CPI. So there's a lot of volatility going into next week as well. But as far as today, let's dive in and see what's going down. As far as the overall markets, let's dive in. So I'm going to get rid of myself and let's see. All right. So we have right now, as we speak, we have futures at, where was my futures? Futures are at 43.19. And that's delayed. So 43.19. Is that right? 43.19 is probably going to put us. Oh, that's futures. Okay, so that's 43.19. It's probably going to put me at 434. We're 43.10. 43.10. So we're right about 43.20. Right in there. So right where we opened, right where we closed, right in there. Now, where do we go from here? Okay, so that's the biggest question. Do we continue lower? As far as the daily, the MACDs look like it can either come to the end here or is it going to roll over? If it does roll over, it's probably going to retest these lows here, 42.21 right in here. And let's see what happens there. Does it sell off? Does it, is there more unknowns entering into the marketplace? We don't know yet. Now, if we cross here on the dailies and the market and all this is priced in, ultimately we don't know. So the main thing we have to do, there's a lot of information on the media. The best thing to do for you guys is look at the price action. And I kind of I broke it down for you guys of what to look for on the SPY and the E-minis. That's on the Patreon page. I'm going to show it to you briefly, but I gave it in complete discussion, layout, levels. So it's on Patreon. If you want the link to that, it's on the bio and just have access to that. It's there. We do it every day. All right. So there, the NASDAQ, same type of thing. Is the NASDAQ going to run? We'll see. So NASDAQ, let's say 14,294 to get it better. And we need above 43.89 on the XPX to get it better. I don't know if that's going to hold, but that is pretty strong at this moment of time. Again, IWM or Russell going sideways. So we noticed the sideways consolidation. 2085 pretty hard. 2100 pretty hard. Recently 2060 really hard. Is it going to come through? We're seeing momentum going, but how far is it going to go? This is pretty weak, or it can increase. So we'll see. It all depends on how you feel the market's going to react to this news, right? So let's see. We don't know that this invasion, if it ends, then great. Things I think will go good. I don't think this conflict is escalating. So I don't see it ending anytime soon. So we'll see. As far as diving in, let's look at the VIX. The VIX right now, again, and this is one thing I like about the VIX. The VIX right now is you got Monday, you got Tuesday. So this is very different than what we noticed in the past. Now, one thing I want you to take notice is that, okay, in the past, we have Monday, Tuesday. Monday was high, Tuesday we go lower. This time was different. We have Monday, Tuesday higher. Okay, that's very different. And what is that intent? I don't know. So again, there's fear entering into the week. So Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday, we got Powell. We have a lot of economic so can we dump? Meaning if the VIX crosses above 35, that means we're heading lower on the XPX and everything here. Now this could reverse. It looks like it wants to go. So now, how do we know if this thing goes below 32 on the VIX? And I'm going to put my alert there, right click. Actually, I'm going to do it a little further out because right click, add alert. So that's going to tell me that if I'm looking for bullish trades, if it starts breaking down, then I'm going to pull the trigger on those bullish trades. However, not until then, I'm going to start thinking bearish because right now fear is entering to the marketplace. Oil this high is not good on any measures. The consumer is going to feel it. I know I talked to numerous people yesterday on the phone from different parts of the United States. And, yeah, and I just asked casually, do you feel inflation in the grocery store? Without a doubt, some said yes, some said no. And it's something, I guess, that happens gradually, that we get used to it. But the one thing you don't get used to is gas, right? So you fill up your tank. It used to cost you 50, now it costs you 80, now it costs you 100. So that's the one thing that we notice the most, especially if you're a driver, consistently, you're going to be noticing that. So across the board, the consumer is going to feel that. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. You guys know. If you did feel that, let me know in the comments. Is gas going to affect you and your family? Absolutely. Let me know. If not, tell me no. I'm wrong. Now, the one thing we got to notice here is a 10-year note. So this is right here. It's declined quite a bit. It was at 2.2%. Now, the one thing about the 10-year note that I have to make note is that this decline happened really, really fast, guys. It just happens really, really fast. Too fast right now. And a lot of it is because of war. Okay, so, the 10-year note is getting lower. When it drops down drastically this much is not a really good sign. So again, that's the other thing that kind of alerted me, especially when I see a gap down, that I see that the Treasury note yields are not being bought. Now, on the good note, if you are going out there getting a 30-year mortgage, then more than likely mortgages will be really cheap right now because they're going to be based on this, right? So basically, they sell the 30-year notes based on the 10-year note with a premium. So they add a premium to this, and this is why 30 years would be a little bit cheaper, which is great, but however, not good when it goes up this fast. Now, I think that's why Powell said we still need to raise interest rates 50 basis points because we cannot have a decline this fast. Not good at any measures. All right. So here we are with the VIX. Let's go into the XPX. Right now, the E-minis are 43.16. They're still holding. Let me go into the plays for today. So yesterday when we talked, we said that price doesn't stay at the 50-day moving average very long. We're looking at the S&P 500, and we are at the 15-minute time frame. Both the white lines are the 50-day moving average. So at this moment of time, something big is about to happen, right? So we'll see how at the open. We are currently at 43.06. So we're right 43.06. That's going to put us right where we close. So now we're right there. I don't know which way we're going to go. Watch the MACDs. If the MACD starts going down and they start selling off, then watch the sell-off. I gave the levels yesterday. Here are the levels on the E-minis. Again, E-minis are selling off. So again, yesterday, and this is all found on the Patreon page if you want full access to it, but 43.32 was pretty big. My line in the sand for today is going to be 42.71. Okay, that's different than the XPX, but you can find it there. And then if we start breaking below this one, then more than likely we're going to retest 42.51. If we break below here, more likely we're probably going to head down to 42.23 and retest these lows right here. So again, the big lines here, these are my weekly layouts. Again, but for today is going to be these right here. And I'll show you what that looks like there. But I'm going to see how far we can go. But 42.71 is going to be a line in the sand. 42.71, 42.80 right in there. But let's see. Right now we're working our way lower. What does that look like on the SPY? And let me just share that with you real quick. Didn't do that. Okay, so let me load up the all right, there we go. Okay, unnamed. So many. Just bear with me, guys. I did draw it up. It's on my other computer. And I'm trying to give you the levels here. There's a lot of information. It's the last one. Unnamed. Okay. Let me see if I could just pull up any one of these. Oh, I think I did name it. It's right here. Okay, so here it is. All right, so I did. So here's the SPY, guys. I'm going to give it to you right now. So make note. So if you're trading the SPY, these are the levels, right? 433 is going to be pretty hard. It's a hard level here. If we do break above here, break the 50, we're probably going to stay in the range of 431 and 427, somewhere in there. If we break below, that's my line in the sand, same type of thing as in the SPX or E-minis. We're probably going to head down to this level of 422 right in there, okay? If we break higher, then more than likely we got these highs right up here of 438. Okay, so there it is right there. Hope you guys caught that. And if not, watch the video again and you got it. All right, so let's go into right there. As far as E-minis, same type of thing here. You just have to do the math. That's why I do it on the E-minis, because it's a little bit different. All right, as far as what to expect today, we're noticing the numbers come out here. Again, Google is round up. And I want to tell you something about Google. Like Google, we rallied up nicely. Again, Google rallied from 2475 all the way up to about 2600. It's just going sideways. Now, it can go either way. I don't see, again, I just gave you the news. Doesn't seem very positive. Doesn't matter about my opinion. It matters how the market's going to react to it. So how do we know? Is really, really simple. It's right there. So 2720. We're currently right at that 2686. But it's going to move 2664. I think like a day like today, it'll probably move one way, shape, or form. The market's just holding it right there. There's nothing really moving it. Amazon breaking down. So watch for these to break down. Amazon right there too. It's going to move. It's going to move. It starts breaking down 29. All we need is one to break. And then they're all going to go, right? So again, it's like fear. The first one goes out and then everybody starts going with them. But 29.99, but we're right there. It can go either way, guys. Either way, we got them exactly where you want them. More so, Amazon is showing me weakness here, and we're gapping down. Okay. Google, it's right there, almost. It could curl here right at 0. But overall, we have the XPX and the NASDAQ and the Russell below the 50, and it looks like it wants to topple over, okay, based on these news. Again, watch for the 50 for things to get better. 43.33 on the XPX, okay. On the NASDAQ, we got 14,121, 2022, right? 2030, right on the Russell. And Google's right there. So again, I don't know what news is going to hit in the next 40 minutes, but let's see. Now, Tesla, this should be positive for Tesla, guys. Oil being this high should be positive for Tesla, because the strategy should be that people will buy more cars, right? At least that's what in theory. Why isn't, oh, that's the QQQs. Okay, so let me look at Tesla real quick. Tesla. So Tesla, again, so I just want to share with you, even though we're winding up, the MACDs are weak here. So it's very different here than we had a couple of days ago when we had the rally. So I want to share with you, this was winding up. This was textbook, how we teach here beyond charts. Right. And then we had close to the 0 line right there. That's very different. And that's where we predict the move. And we had this on the hourlies. OK, what we see now, we definitely see price congesting sideways. But, as far as the MACD, there's telling me a little bit of weakness. So it might stay in here for a little bit longer. I think the market's trying to process it. In theory, I think that with oil being this high, that Tesla should rip. Now, buyers are coming into Tesla. Remember, I've been saying this all along. Tesla does not stay below 800 very, very long. As you can see, if we go back, Tesla gets bought when it's below 800. It gets bought a lot. So again, if you're looking at Tesla, just realize that Tesla has these beautiful swings. But as far as today, let's dive in here. I'm just going to give you the levels here. Let's dive in on Tesla. If Tesla takes out the pre-market action of 875, it's probably going to get a retest here of 889. All right, 889. You have that. It's close to 900. Let's see if it can break 900. If Tesla starts breaking down here, it's probably going to go to the lows of pre-market of 858. This is where it got bought pre-market, okay, 858. So they got bought pre-market with high oil prices. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at it. There's buyers coming in. Maybe it'll rip today. Maybe let it pull back a little bit on the MACDs. Let it first set up. And again, what I'm noticing is getting bought here too. So again, 857, it's a hard level. So watch it at 857. It's probably going to get bought. Again, in theory, oil this high, Tesla should go up in theory. Okay. So let's see that, again, in theory. So that's what I'm looking at Tesla. So have your calls and your puts ready on Tesla. Amazon too. It looks like it worked lower. Higher oil prices are not good for Amazon. Supply chain issues, shipping containers are costing more. So again, it is gonna, oil is the measurement. It's gonna put a lot of strain on a lot of different things. CMG, again, same type of pattern, kind of going up. What comes down, it looks like it wants to topple over. Let's see if it does, but it doesn't look like a right setup here at this moment of time. So we have Lam Research. I'll talk about Lam Research a little bit. Goldman Sachs working his way lower. This is ideal. Let's go into Goldman Sachs, because we have all moving averages setting up, and we have it all, the MACDs at the zero. So this could move. It's going to move. It looks like it probably wants to go lower on Goldman Sachs. So we have 325. If it takes out 325, it's probably going to go to 300. It's probably going to go 300. So it looks like it's setting up right there for Goldman Sachs. So again, but watch it at 325. It could reverse, meaning it could come down, come up, and this can reverse. Watch the MACDs for a sign. If the MACDs break, then it's probably going to go down here, and it's probably going to go lower. If the MACDs come higher, it's just going to give you a little heads up that there's buying coming back in, and it's probably going to break. 331 on top. You got 326 on the bottom. Pre-market action, 328, 326 to break. If it reverses, 331 on top, but you got both sides right here, it is going to move. Pre-market action, you have this 331 right in there. If it breaks, it can probably get up to 337, 338. So you got Goldman Sachs setting up. That is a winding up right there action. You got it on Netflix too. Netflix could break down, right? If it starts breaking down here, watch it to go to 383, currently 386, 382, and then it's got 375. Okay, you got Roku. Roku can break down as well. So we got everything kind of moving on the negative side pre-market. Futures, spiders are coming back up, so I'm just keeping an eye on them. But we're right there at 138. Let's see what happens here. Watch the overall markets for a move. Now, NVIDIA, watch NVIDIA, because NVIDIA has some problems, and I'm going to get that to them when we get to the chips. But it could bounce. Let's see if it bounces here at 235. If it bounces here, can probably get up to 239, maybe 244. That's when I'm looking at the price action. If it breaks down, it's got 233 and maybe 231. Mercado Libre, maybe it's breaking down with Amazon. Doesn't look good at this moment in time. Let's wait for the market to open. Anything can happen. Apple. So let's think about Apple. Apple just announced that basically they will not be selling their products in Russia. Okay, great, admirable. Okay, but if you're an Apple owner, what does that mean? That means that Apple's your revenue is less. You're not selling your product to a market, and you're not going to make revenue off of that. So just know that, and Apple's going to price in that as well. So Shopify working its way lower. I think Shopify just needs some good news, but as you can tell, it's just heading lower. So right now is a nice setup there if it breaks down. If it takes out 670, it's probably got 663, 642. It's got definitely 574. Is it going to get there? Don't know. Again, watch the overall markets. Goldman Sachs is breaking down. All right. As far as these are my chips. Trade Desk, Affirm could break down. Watch 42. again, we have a nice move out. Upstart can go either way. This is winding up. Again, this is the same move that we saw on Tesla a couple of days ago. It can break up. Watch 150 or 146. It can break, and it's going to be a big move. If it starts breaking 146, it's got 143, definitely 130 on the bottom, and 125. Get yourself ready. That is a big, big move coming up on Upstart. 160 on top. Big move. HubSpot working higher. Does it have enough to get going? Watch 528 for a move up or down. It probably can go down to 510 or 547. Currently, 533. Zoom working his way lower. Bookings working his way lower. High oil prices probably going to go up to the 50 at 2130. See what happens there. ServiceNow working his way lower. Coinbase, Bitcoin's pulling back, and I'll talk about that. And it's probably going to pull back. It's setting up nicely. Probably looks like it probably wants to retest 193 and 188. Now, the chips. I want to talk about the chips. The chips aren't looking too good. And here's the reason why, guys. And I kind of pointed this up a little bit. So here's an article on Russia's war in Ukraine could spur up another global chip shortage. This was from February 28th. And one of the big reasons why is because there is an element in Russia that they make. And it's I believe it's called crayon, whatever how you pronounce that. That is a gas and a substance used in chip manufacturing that all these chip manufacturers need. So this war on Russia is not necessarily a good thing and putting more restraints on the chip sector. So again, you can look it up. Just, this is from Wired. I just looked it up. I heard about it before. I just wanted to give you the right information. So this is where it is right there. Okay, so we got that, and that's the chips, and this is why the chips are working its way lower. Again, looks like it could break down. As long as the war continues, I don't think these chips are going to go higher. So again, watch AMD setting up for a move downward. 112, you got all of these are working their way lower. Okay, this is the reason why. Here, if they can't make chips, you can't get the parts. You can't make chips. You can't make money. Really simple. So again, now if the war is over, these things will fly. So again, it's all news dependent, and you have to be strategy based. All right. As far as spiders, I gave you spiders already, or SPY. Let's look at spiders. SPY. So this is what SPY looks like. Let me look at it from this point of view. This is the hourly. This is a 15-minute time frame, and I gave you the levels on SPY already. SPY is right there, 430. It can move either way. You have the levels. It's going to move one way, shape, or form. Okay, we're looking at these. It's probably going to break down. If this breaks down, there's buyers coming pre-market right at that 430. 430. It basically comes out to 43.03 on the XPX. If that breaks down, it's probably going to go down to 427, right in there, 428, 427. And I gave you those levels already. If we're trading QQQs, again, Qs are pre-market. Buyers came in at 339, all right? So buyers came in there. We got 345 pre-market, 339. So something big is about to happen. We're right there. I guess it's at the mercy of the market. The hourlies on Qs are right there. This is exactly where you're going to like it. Look for a move. This is going to be a big move here. Normally it doesn't stay here very long, as you can tell. And I'm going to go back to demonstrate this to you. It doesn't stay at the 50 very long. So we're going to have a big move right now. Looks like it's working its way lower. And at the 50, looks like it's working its way lower. MACD's just started pre-market. If this starts opening up, moving averages, still not 100% confirmed, right? Because we have some moving averages on top here. And this MACD has already started. So maybe wait to see for the development of this for the next 30 minutes and see if we can get the moving averages all on one side with the MACD, and that will be a go, okay? Right now on the hourlies, looking pretty good, but there's buyers coming in here, okay? There's consolidation, a lot of consolidation right at this 342, 341. Okay, however, if 341 gets taken out, then it's probably going to go, okay? And then we got 338. All right, so we got some movers here today. IWM. Again, right there as well. So we got them all where we want them. It's just now wait and see and pick a direction. Pre-market on IWM, you got 200. 200's been kind of like a normal. It's trying to stay there. Now, if IWM takes out 199, it's probably going to go down to 198 and these lows here of 197. If it goes higher, it can go to 201 and maybe 203, 204. So again, it's just the market I think is processing right now, and they don't want to let anybody lead anybody on at this moment of time. But again, so how would you play this right now? All right, so there's a lot of movers. We don't know which way it's going to go. Market could crater. We still have an unknown with the Ukraine. Biden came out yesterday. He also mentioned some things about EV, Medicaid, being in charge to negotiate price on drugs. So that's that's a positive. Talked about EV, but basically right now it's all about oil, Powell, and the war. All right, so those are the three elements that are going to be affecting the markets today. Don't really see where we're at here on the overall markets. Oil 111, putting a lot of strain on these things. 10-year note 178. Again, so either way, you know, Tesla looked like it wanted to go this morning. Let me look at Tesla real quick. Oops. Again, higher oil prices, it's good for Tesla. Looks good. I think that as a play, maybe go long Tesla, short the XPX, you know, one of those things, or SPY. So you have a hedge here, because if the market is going to go, I believe that the one that is the most, either Google or, but Tesla looks like it wants to rip. With higher oil prices, that's a theory. I think that maybe that's the hedge. So you're doing one put and one long and one short. I think that's the play here. Maybe. Let's look at that. What time is it? 9:04. We're looking good. Let me see what Ford announced that they're splitting off their EVs, which is a smart move, because then before, not looking too hot either. They haven't really, you know, gapped up pre-market on the news of the Biden, the news of Ford. But again, they're splitting off. So for pre-market, we're sitting at 1725, right there, right at that 50. So we don't know what's going to happen there. Okay, I talked about PANW real quick. And these are all cyber plays, all right? So these are probably they've been rocketing, right? So they've been rocketing since I mentioned it in the beginning of the week. This is Wednesday, this was Tuesday, Monday, and they started last week. We have CrowdStrike, KRDW, and that's the last couple of days. When I said it, it just went up. Okay, so these are all cyber warfare plays, ZS. And since I mentioned it, they've gone up. All right, so just know this. If you're in these things, which is great, this is the play. We're looking at playing cyber warfare. Just know, if the war is over, if anything of the war, these will go down. Okay, so these are going to go down. If the war goes over, it's over. So just these are news dependent. As long as there's escalation and conflict, these will do well, because we're in the threat of cyber warfare. But just know that, and so don't fall in love here, but definitely play them. That's how we play this. All right, guys. There was one more that I put up there, and I think it was it was net. Let me look at net. And that, since we mentioned it, it's gone up. So hope you guys enjoy that one as well. I didn't really announce it, but it went up in the last couple of days. All right, so there you got it. All right, guys, that's all we got for today. I don't think that we're going to see, right now the futures are, let me look at SPYs real quick. Right now, market is, right now we're seeing more buying than selling right now. So let's see what happens here. And we're staying in between these lanes right now. So let's see. So again, watch the MACDs, watch here. I think that the market is going to get a reaction here, and it's going to move. So Either way, don't know. Just get yourself ready. All right, guys, I'm going to get myself ready. Go out there, go get it. And stay green, stay green, stay green. And all right, guys, if you like this, please press like, subscribe. If you want access to the Patreon page, the link is on the bio right down there, and it'll lead you right there. All right. And go out there, go get it, guys. Today's going to be a day of opportunity, and please press like.